All right, all right. It's the Mina's House podcast, episode 165. I'm sorry for the lateness. We had some technical difficulties. I'm Mina SayWhat.
I'm Shana B.
Garnett Briscoe.
Dex Stucky.
So I don't know why, but I feel like everything's been messing up lately. Dex, you said we're in Mercury retrograde?
Yeah, Mercury's in retrograde right now. I try not to look into it because I feel like if you look into it, you know that it's real. So I don't know the exact dates when it ends, but I know Mercury is currently in retrograde. So like that's
now, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, right? So you're gonna have to break. What does that even mean? I hear it a lot, but what does that mean?
I feel like one of the girls can explain it better than I could. Like I just know that they know.
So hold on. You can't just be saying it if you don't know.
I know it just means like your life is going to be so effed up for a couple days, or like a month or so. And it's a lot of technology starts to fail and whatnot. And like, I think it's very evident that the world is in some type of disarray. You got a pandemic happening. You got a snowstorm happening. You got technical difficulties on the Mina's House podcast.
Right. I had no heat for 3 days. My lights have been going in and out. Texas ain't got no lights. Basically, it's like, the way that I know it. Shana, do you know?
I was gonna say, Dex basically explained it the way I know it is everything gonna go wrong. Don't sign no contracts, don't buy no houses, it's all going wrong. Your relationship's gonna end.
But what they say is like the planets and the gravity and everything align in a way where it interferes with communication.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. So if people don't communicate well, technology obviously is a big form of communication, and it interferes with technology and robots and stuff like that. So
like that's all the time though. That's every day.
No,
it gets worse.
No, but right.
And that could be true because my computer's been acting up. Zoom's been moving so slow. Everything's been a little weird.
That's because Verizon is terrible. That's why. That's it.
Wait. So, okay. So it has to do with Mercury, right? The planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I'm trying to find the exact thing.
I think you said it in a good way.
I did? Okay.
The planets and the gravity being aligned in a way that makes stuff messed up.
It's scattered energy is what they call it.
Well, it happens. I didn't even know Mercury was in retrograde, but now it explains my whole life. Wow. My personal relationships in the toilet, why I have no heat for 3 days. And then the guy came to fix the heat today. And then 2 hours later, it was broken again. And like, I've been sleeping in my room with a damn heater. And my lights went off yesterday during the Sixers game. Whew. Life is a mess.
I did look it up, and it does end. It ends February 21st for those of you who are holding off on doing stuff. It's almost over. We're almost done with it.
Sunday.
So yeah, I was looking for like the kind of the definition too, but it's like it says retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde.
I'm like, what's that?
Meaning the planet Mercury appears to stop and move backwards from its orbit during that time. So the craziness is created because it's going reverse.
Yeah, look, and Garnett's been adopted by a white family, and like everything is messed up in the world.
Listen, and they're happy I'm here. Look at their faces. They're happy to have me.
Or intrigued that they seen a black man for the first time.
They turned into Madonna.
All of them.
For people listening to us, Garnett has like the Brady Bunch background on his screen. And we all know that the Brady Bunch are very white and Garnett is very black.
I bought my own season to dinner. You understand?
All right, let's get into what's in our feed. Dr. Dre and Apryl Jones. Omarion's baby mom, Lil Fizz's ex, allegedly went on a date with Dr. Dre in her bra. I tried to give the woman the benefit of the doubt. I said this on air. Well, maybe it's a business meeting because she's a singer, but she had a bra on. So I don't know no business meetings that you go take in your bra. So what do you guys think about this?
I was gonna say, Mina, allegedly it was a date. Now, maybe allegedly they dating. That definitely was a date. That was a date because she did the whole head down as she's
getting shame.
He got his mask on.
So weird though, because she had her mask on, but like you said, a bra. Like I just feel like you don't feel weird putting the mask on and all you have on is a bra. Like it's kind of, I don't know, that's a weird combination to me to be like, I'm gonna wear my bralette to go out on this date with this guy. I got to protect, but I don't know, it's just weird to see that. You know how I am with these celebrity couples. Like, I don't care. I think that she's crazy for wanting to date someone like Dr. Dre, though, with no disrespect to Dr. Dre, but I don't feel like in the past year I've heard anything positive about him. Like, he was just in the hospital, so he may not be all the way there health-wise. Then there's the woman beating accusations, and then his ex-wife is like, he doesn't want to pay for nothing. Like, is that really what you want to be involved in? And if you know her track record, where she's like, you know, Omarion, Fizz, and it's kind of like The Game, and it's almost one of those things where it's just two people who don't really seem very stable, kind of do something together, and I don't see it ending well.
Listen, I'm gonna say this: that was one hell of a bra. Y'all can complain. It's a very nice bra. Keep doing your thing. I don't care if it's a date. I wear that everywhere I'm around. Yeah, regarding that, I mean, I agree with Shana. That most likely was a date. I mean, come on now. But what was he wearing? Did anybody see him?
Yeah, like a sweatsuit or
joggers.
Jogger.
That was definitely a date because he super low. Like that's super low. Yeah, I'm just, he could play it off. He was doing it. I just got finished running. He can just play that off.
I just got out the hospital.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't want it to be a date because that's weird.
Why?
He's 55. She's 33. She's a reality TV show star. She's messy. Like what? Like, bro, you got real grown-up problems. You have a divorce. You had a brain aneurysm. What are you doing with Apryl Jones?
I think the messiness is
messy played to messy. Like we messy together.
I was gonna say he's like messy private, and she kind of is messy public. So I think that's what got me is whatever he does do, it's not like. Although to your point, we've learned stuff in the public that would like the woman.
But he didn't say it. She said her own stuff though.
They've been going on for years, but we've never known him to be with anyone like, especially a reality TV star. So that was a little bit shocking. But I'm like, you know what? Now I know Mercury. I mean, maybe we don't know when they got together. We don't know. And he is getting out of a health crisis, and sometimes men, want to feel like they still got it. So who knows? Who knows?
When did he meet her though? Like, cause like Mina was saying, and like you were saying, she's a reality TV star, and not even like a big one. Like you're on like the 4th brand of Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? Like you're not even like a main star. How does Dr. Dre meet this? I don't get it. Like, how does that happen?
He slid in her DMs. When she was like, everybody want to F this P, when she said that, he was like, I do, slid right in there.
You know what? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that is a little wild, but I mean, he is going through a divorce. Like I guess he's just trying to have fun at this moment. He's
not going through a divorce like he's so hurt. Like he was done with his ex-wife for quite some time. Like he's just doing what he wants to do. Like you're saying he's going through it like he's hurt and like
he's in the paper getting slandered every other week.
He doesn't care.
Wait, but the ex-wife wants to put the side pieces on the stand. Did you see that?
I heard that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be entertaining.
Listen, I would like to see that.
I like it.
Why?
I've never seen a wife interrogate side pieces. I think this would be like when OJ was, running in the Bronco. I think this is something a lot of people would watch. I mean, and who are these side pieces?
Do we know them? Love and Hip Hop cast members too. Although if she did this though, she'd probably get her feelings hurt. So you might not want to do this. Like you would be upset because you would be looking at the dates and like, shit, we was together that day. Like,
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this relationship, but we'll see what happens here. Okay. Moving on. This is weird too. This is the toxic edition of the Mina's House podcast. Chris Brown said he's single with a girlfriend.
If you have a girlfriend, you are single.
Oh, here we go.
No,
we go.
It's a good point, Dex. You bring up a great point.
Absolutely. If you have a boyfriend, you're single too. Like you're not in a relationship until you're married. I think calling somebody your girlfriend or boyfriend is silly. You're not a 5-year-old. Don't do that. You have somebody that you are spending time with that you are, you want to be committed to. That's fine. But like the girlfriend boyfriend title means nothing.
But he has a whole baby mom. You don't think that's disrespectful to her? Like, how you gonna say I'm single but I'm available? You basically telling everybody you hoeing and cheating on your girl, who I'm pretty sure says she's in a relationship. Mind you, you over here talking about I'm single.
Because I was going to say, Dex, you're thinking single in terms of marriage, right? But he's saying he's single in terms of monogamy. And that's like where the disrespect comes, because this girl probably is over here, but who knows? Because everybody is polyamorous these days. So maybe he's had a conversation with her, because he did also say something weird about running back to anything he ever loved, which I thought was also disrespectful. If we in a relationship, like, don't tell me you're gonna go back to one of your exes.
Carucci and Victor Cruz just broke up.
They showed he was on Revolt with Christian, and they said something about like going back to your ex. At first he said no. Then he said, but matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie, if I loved it, I run back on anything that I loved. Well, and I just thought that was weird too. Like, you're in this relationship. That's a weird thing to say.
I think if I said that, you, Mina, or Garnett said that, maybe that would be a weird thing to say. Chris Brown dated Rihanna. I'm running back to that too. Like, what do you mean? Like,
I mean, yes, I get that. But if you have a fiance, Dex.
Okay, but if I dated
that right now with your fiance, that's rude.
Rihanna is in my past. I'm running back to what I had. Yes, absolutely. I'm Team Chris Brown all the way with this one.
He's Chris Brown at the end of the day. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's really hard for him, just like in any previous relationships, to be like confined just to one woman. So I think he's just living his lifestyle. Like that's his lifestyle.
First of all, I'm sure he done ran through every woman. At a certain point, don't you get tired of that? Like, you need to settle down and just be with your baby mom. Poor girl. Listen, I said on air, I was like, if I was his girlfriend and he went on national television and told people that he was single with a girlfriend, I would be like, all right, bro, you single and single, because I'm not gonna be your girlfriend no more, bro. If you gonna disrespect me like this on TV.
Listen, he's been single with a girlfriend. When he was with Carucci, he popped up on TV at the Lakers game with Rihanna. Like, he's been doing this.
Baby.
Proof. He's not saying anything. He's being Chris Brown right now. That's all.
Garnett, you said a weird word. You said confined. Like, is that that was such a harsh word to my spirit.
I'm pretty sure that's how he feels as Chris Brown. Why should I just have one? I can have one that I love, that adores the hell out of me, but I'm Chris Brown. I just want to live my life.
I think if they've had the conversation about being like in an open relationship, that's one thing. But if they haven't, and you go on TV and say it's disrespectful.
Yeah, but even if they had an open relationship, I think it's the way he said it. Like, single and girlfriend are kind of contradictory, right? If he would have just said, me and my girlfriend have an understanding, I would have been like, oh, okay, they're in an open relationship. Mm-hmm. But single with a girlfriend just means I got a girl, but I do whatever I want. I want to hear from her. I think her name is Amika or something like that. I want to hear from her.
Calling somebody your girlfriend.
You're not going to hear anything from Amika. She said she's playing her part. She got a kid. She has Chris Brown forever. That's probably so wild in her mind. She grew up wanting Chris Brown. Now she's with him forever to some capacity.
And she's single in a relationship. It's amazing.
Listen, I'm not built that way. I don't care who you are, bro. I'm more like Sweetie. Sweetie's like, if Quavo cheats on me, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna cut him. She don't play that. Them little.
That knife.
I'm more on that side. I'm not allowing you to do whatever you want just because you Chris Brown, bro. I'm Mina SayWhat. You mean to talk your talk, Amika? You know what I mean? Like, all right, you Chris Brown, I'm Amika. All right. This is annoying. I don't know why. Moneybagg Yo gets under my skin now. I liked it when he was with Megan, and now the shenanigans with his new girlfriend Ari. He said that he doesn't want the pandemic to end because he's making a lot of money.
Well, I was bothered.
Me too. He's annoying to me.
I was more bothered because y'all was just in Delta. Y'all wasn't even like in Delta Comfort. Like y'all was like right in the rows right behind Delta Comfort. So I was bothered. Like you're really talking about millions, and I know I just saw you. That was your preferred route to travel on a crowded Delta flight in the middle of COVID. But you want to talk about how many millions you made in the pandemic? I don't really even know if I believe you. That's the other reason why I was bothered because I'm like, that was just 2 weeks ago. It literally was just a crowded, overcrowded Delta flight. So I don't know. And it's just like that's fine if you're making money. There's obviously businesses doing great. Look at Amazon, but you don't have to brag about it. You don't see Amazon on TV. Like this pandemic can keep on going.
Our stock went from 1,000 to 3,000 a share.
I think he just got his income taxes, and you know how you get when they get a little bit of extra money, like you start feeling yourself, you're so excited, you just say anything out of your mouth, you're buying cars and whatnot. I bet you won't see him on a preferred flight now. You'll see him in first class now because he got a couple extra dollars. But like everybody else, when April rolls around, you lose the car, you lose the money, and then he'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't wait for this pandemic to end."
I mean, he's definitely not alone in this, man. You know how many PUA scammers is out here that during this pandemic? You know how many people out here really getting to the bag? What? People want another watch. They gonna have pandemics. They gonna add it as another season. They really are.
Wait, did you say add it as another season?
Right. People really coming up, so he's definitely not alone. But yeah, I really just think he just found his stride. Whatever hustle he had and couldn't get in order, he probably just had some time, like everybody, to sit down and get things structured, and he's seeing the benefits from it. So I think that's where that's probably coming from.
Yeah, but I think the biggest issue with the pandemic that a lot of us are now seeing now, obviously we didn't know how to control this at first, but then they gave us different measures of how to control it. And it seems that there's a group of people or a part of society that knows how we're supposed to control it and they don't care. And then it's like this selfishness that's coming out. And to say like, I want this to continue because I'm personally making money, it's really insulting to like the masses because a lot of us, we've been laid off. We don't have jobs. Like we've only received 1.5 stimulus check. And like there's people who are losing their homes and losing cars. People who buy his music are losing their homes and cars and whatnot. Like at one point during the pandemic, people were looting stores, and they weren't looting stores just because they felt like it. A lot of these people were doing this because they had no other means. I don't necessarily know why you needed to loot the liquor store, but whatever. People did that because
I was gonna say.
But I really do think a lot of these people who were looting the Walmarts and the Targets and stuff like that, like, yes, people were doing it because they had the opportunity to do it, but also people were doing it and stealing Pampers and whatnot too. And I just think as an artist or a public figure to come out and say this is a good thing, it's insulting to your audience.
I just feel like there's a lot of privilege going on, and it comes through different kinds of privilege. It's not even just white and black and minority versus majority, but more so even just money versus no money, wealth versus poor. I mean, to see Tom Brady and the Bucks on a damn boat, on a yacht, throwing around a Super Bowl trophy with no mask on in the midst of a pandemic, when people are literally at home, not celebrating anything. It just gets under my skin. What I'm seeing from society, this complete, sometimes like oblivion to the fact that there are people that have lost their homes and there are people that have lost their jobs. And, it really gets under my skin. Like, I know some people are going to profit. That's kind of how these things are structured. When there's a recession, people get rich, the poor get poorer, but don't rub it in my face, bruh. Like, my hours been cut down at my job. I don't need you to be sitting there talking about, well, I made all this money during the pandemic. Well, hell, pay my bill then. What's up?
It's just your home.
Listen, you Tom Brady didn't do anything. They're in Florida. They haven't been wearing masks for a year. Florida don't care. All he did was do what Florida allowed him to do.
I'm annoyed, bro. You over here throwing the trophy around. People at home that they can't even go outside socially. Y'all over here partying it up. Who thought that was a good idea?
Well, your president allowed it to happen. He allowed the Super Bowl to happen, which your homegirl Cardi B attended. So, like, I think it's one of those things, like, as a society, like we have to start calling these people out. Like I feel like Cardi B is one of those people who gets called out consistently for violating COVID protocols and whatnot, and she does not care. Like she does this stuff, then she'll apologize for it, then she does it again. And the fact that I saw her at the Super Bowl was just like mind blowing to me. Like I just couldn't believe that. And then to know that our president, who ran on COVID safety, like not only was okay with the Super Bowl happening, but he did like a video package, a PSA before the Super Bowl even ran. And it's just like, you're okay with this. And I think what Garnett was saying, as far as Florida being open and doing whatever they want to do, it's very clear that our government does not care.
Well, there's a lot there to unpack. First of all, I agree with you. It was a little annoying to see Meek Mill and Lil Baby and Michael Rubin and all of them, Quavo, Offset, No Takeoff. It was annoying to see all of them like at the Super Bowl, no mask. But Cardi B spends a lot of money on testing people, and she's said that before. What?
Okay, that's like saying I'm gonna make sure I'm testing people for STDs, but I'm still gonna be out here raw sex over and over and over, and like letting you know that I'm doing that. Like it's kind of counterproductive.
I agree with that, but I was just saying, I feel like she gets a bad rap, and she does try to do what she can, but she is an artist. She does have to maneuver. I would just wish that she would maneuver in a more safe way, like wear a mask, girl, instead of just, taking a test. But back to what you said, like, I get the Super Bowl because some people want some sense of normalcy. What I don't get is a victory parade.
I was just gonna say the same thing, Mina. Like
you packed 22,000 people. You packed 22,000 people in a Super Bowl in an arena where people can't have funerals or weddings. But then the issue is a parade.
Well, at the
1,000 in a 65,000 arena, and again, I'm not for it, but I'm just saying at least the argument could be made. But there's no way that we can. Again, like the Lakers couldn't have a parade because there's no way to safely on the street. Like let's think of how we were when we won the Super Bowl. There would be no way telling us like, okay, y'all can stand at Walnut, 15th of Walnut, but then y'all can't stand again until 17th of Walnut. It's just not going to happen. Like there's no way that's going to happen in a responsible way. Like
that was going to be my exact point. I think the Super Bowl was more controlled. People had to wear masks. You saw what they did to Trey Songz. They kicked his ass out. People had to wear masks. There was social distancing. You know what I'm saying? 7,500 people, 7,500 of those people were vaccinated, right? But the parade, there was no kind of control. There was no social distancing. There was no mask wearing. I think that for me was the difference, controlled versus not controlled.
It's cause and effect. So if you didn't have a Super Bowl, you would not have a victory.
No, the Lakers won the championship, but they did not have a parade.
But I'm saying,
they wouldn't allow them. It wasn't allowed.
But if you didn't do this, but to be clear though, as far as LA winning the championships, they won that in a bubble. There was no crowd there. You had a crowd in this building.
I mean, right. This is a unique situation. They won a Super Bowl in the city that they play in.
You won the Super Bowl in front of a crowd, but now the issue is that they're having a parade. You shouldn't have had the Super Bowl in front of a crowd. Like that just didn't make any sense. Because even after the game was over, those same people were in the streets partying with each other.
But no, so that's like saying that, again, we could have had a Super Bowl, let's say, year we won, there's no crowd there, but then they come back to Philly and have a parade. Those are two separate things. Like, if you allow us, we want to be out there. You allow us to have a parade, I'm going.
The way that I saw it was that the Super Bowl, we were lucky to have the Super Bowl, and then they pushed it doing this unnecessary stuff like a parade. What does the parade benefit? Let me tell you something. A lot of people say, well, it's about money. They pay, it's about money. They get sponsors for Super Bowl. Pepsi is dropping a bag. Okay, the NFL trying to make money. Okay, whatever. They're a business at the end of the day, even though they're nonprofit, whatever, quote unquote. But what does the parade benefit? Nothing. There's no sponsorships. You're not making money. I don't understand. Sacrifice your soul for what? You're not even getting a bag.
Florida. They do anything in Florida.
Celebratory,
That's what it comes back to. It's just, none of it kind of makes sense to me in general. Even, having these guys line up, sweat all over each other, do a bunch of crap. Now you're allowing people in the building that you don't know for sure have COVID or not. You don't know that for sure. All you can do is put a thermometer up to them, and if they pass, they pass. But you don't know if they have COVID. You're letting them in there. They're touching. Anything could get back, and, that's still happening. So if anything, just let the guys play. don't have anybody in the crowd if that's the case. But I mean, once again, it's Florida, and they've been doing it other places as well. So I mean, who really knows what the heck was going on, man?
I'm tired of people saying it's Florida and it's Atlanta. It's ridiculous that half of the country is living one way and the other half is not. And now there's a new strain in California and Florida, and y'all out here living like this thing ain't real. The rest of us is trying to follow the rules, and we failing because of y'all.
It's belief system. It's whatever you.
Let me tell y'all something. When I went to Florida and Georgia, Atlanta specifically, they were the only two places where they had the disinfectant lined up on the shelves. I was like, oh my God, it is not even a sign that says limit 2.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's are we living on the same planet in the same country?
Really not, because nobody down there buying disinfectant spray how we are. I went to the store every day and bought some more and bought it back to Philly.
Can you find Lysol? That's the ultimate test. Was the Lysol down?
Generation.
Okay. All right, moving on. Getting into our topic, Dex came up with this one, which is very appropriate to my life because I feel like this is always something that messes up my relationships. Holiday couple expectations. You know, people have different expectations for holidays. My family is very holiday oriented. We spend time every holiday. We give gifts on Valentine's Day, on birthdays, on Christmas. We spend, that's how I was raised. A lot of the times I find myself kind of like in these places with certain men where it's like they don't celebrate certain holidays or their expectations are a lot less than what I'd expect. And I'm in the age bracket where like if you wasting my time, bro, I don't want you in my life. So if you can't buy me roses on Valentine's Day or like spend time with me long term, I know that that's something that the man in my life is gonna have to do. So if you're not doing it right now, buddy, you're not gonna be around for long because this is what my expectation is from my significant other on holidays. But what do you guys think about this? Like, what are your overall thoughts, I guess?
I am a strong believer in whatever works for the couple. I do think that that's really important. However, I do think that there should be some general rules that kind of work for you. I saw this post the other day on Facebook and a girl made it and she's like, I'm never going to post anybody on social media until I'm married. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's something that people should like steer away from. I think that's fine. But then I've also seen a lot of posts where people like every year you're posting a different person. You know what I mean? Like there are people from Christmas with the matching PJs to Valentine's Day, you had a different person in your life. And I personally just don't like all those different people popping up. I think that there should be some type of like limit to what you're sharing with the world. And I do think there should be somewhat of a commitment with this other person before you guys are out there posting things for the world to see. Because then you get these questions and you can't answer the questions because you're not keeping these people. I also don't believe in like sneakiness though. Like I don't ever want to be in a relationship or a situation where I can't talk about it. And if one party is like, don't say nothing about this, or if you both are like, oh, don't say nothing about this, then like, what are we doing?
So wait, so some people are like, okay, well, if you buy me, because on Valentine's Day, we saw people, people bought roses. Some people had petals all over the place. They were sharing it on social media. So you're saying some people are like, well, I'll do these things for you, but you just can't share it?
Yes, people do that all the time. And I think that's
weird. They're not your man or woman.
Like, but they would say that they're together. Like people do stuff like, I mean, like, I'm not going to say that I wasn't always like that. Like I'm very private about things. And like, there's a lot of stuff that I'd never posted, but I would do them. But it was never don't post this. You can't.
I was gonna say that's the difference. Like,
no people
did not want to do it, then tell your fiance, don't post some flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't post no flowers.
That's weird to me.
To answer the question, I think I'm starting to get used to like celebrating holidays more. So like even for Valentine's Day that just passed, not only did I have my own Valentine, I made my niece my Valentine, and I thought that was pretty dope. So I think she's about to be 2 years old. So like Easter, different things like that, I'm starting to get into because I think that's cool too, to have your kids grow up or have your nieces grow up. I would like my family, just to be able to celebrate things, whatever the case may be. So even in a significant other standpoint, if that's something that she wants to do and I'm into her, yes, let's celebrate. Let's go do that if that makes you happy.
So what happens when the expectations are different? Because we literally just covered so many different aspects of this, right? The first part being, what are the expectations in general on the holiday, right? Are you supposed to do something for me? Am I supposed to do something for you? Are we getting matching PJs? Are we not getting matching PJs? But then the second part of it is, do we tell people? Do we post? Do we not post? How do you deal with just not being on the same page regarding that? Like, say someone gets me flowers and I post, oh my God, I just got these flowers. Like, oh, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Make sure you're loved. And then somebody comes and tries to tell me, oh, well, you shouldn't have posted the flowers. Well, why not? Like, how do you, or even posting the person, like, how do you deal with different expectations? Should you just call it quits?
I think it's different. I think definitely, as you go through the relationship with whoever the significant other is, some of the stuff you are learning. So, for example, maybe Garnett wasn't the get flowers on Valentine's type, but his girlfriend was, and he got into that. I think though, again, I'm a very open person, so I think going into dating me, a person knows that I'm very open, and I just tend to share a lot on social. So it would probably have to be almost something that would happen by happenstance, because if you buy me flowers, I'm going to post them. So then if I was told, to Dex's point, like, don't post it, I think that would be very much a conversation that we would have to have, because I'm gonna need to understand your reason behind not posting it. If it is literally you have some deep reason about not wanting people in our relationship, like, for example, I wouldn't mind posting it and not tagging you, because I do understand that could be annoying. And again, if I'm switching through people, which sometimes I might do that, y'all see flowers, y'all see no tag, I'm doing that myself. But I think if I was told, like, don't post it, I'm going to be a little bothered. And it is going to come from a space where I might have been in relationships, or thought I was in a relationship before, that I found out I wasn't in, because you ain't want me posting nothing.
Now you're bothering me from like a male's perspective. Mina started this off like, what's important to me is getting flowers, getting candy. I want that. You just came on here and just said, like, I want flowers, I want candy, whatever. But then you took it a step further, and you now have a problem with not being able to post it. Like, what's more important, receiving the actual gift from the person that you're with, or letting the world know that you got it?
Both.
I'm not saying I have to. I'm just saying that
both.
And you say to me, don't do that, and I'm like, why?
Right. Now it's a red flag. Like, what?
Exactly. That was the word I was looking for.
It's just flowers, bro. I'm not tagging you. I'm not, like, nobody even knows they're from you. Like, why does that bother you?
Chocolates. Why can't I post these?
Oh, like, look, if we private, why does anybody need to know that you got anything? Like, and I know.
Okay, so when that happens, does that mean that someone's creeping? Like, because I'm like,
9 times out of 10, absolutely.
Right.
You answered
because you're only super private about stuff that you have no business doing. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, things that there's privacy and keeping things on the low, but then there's like secrecy, and there's being sneaky. And if we're both like in this aspect of we're just gonna be sneaky about it, one or both of us are doing something we got no business doing.
Right. I think there's privacy. To your point, if I'm Mina and I'm gonna use Mina as a public figure, I can understand her showing flowers and not tagging the person, because you got 100 trolls that just gonna be like, well, let me see who this person Mina dating, and then be on their page. So that will be one level of it. But then if you are like, no, you can't post it, that's just totally different to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I'm glad y'all agree. To be honest, I the holidays, I think, is when a lot of people break up, and this is the reason. Mm-hmm. It's really like expectations, like what should you be doing? What should you not be doing? And almost all the time I get let down. I'll be honest with you guys. Almost all the time I get let down on the holidays, because holidays are really important to me. And the way that I was raised is you spend time with your family or you buy stuff. It doesn't have to be really expensive. Like I bought my mother a llama. My mother's Peruvian. So I saw this llama in Walmart and I thought it would be funny for her to have like a stuffed llama, you know, like, so I bought a llama, whatever you white people want to, you know, change the llama which comes from Peru and it has 2 L's and, you know, but whatever. So I bought her a llama and like chocolate, you know, and she bought me earrings and like I posted it like, look at the earrings my mom got me, you know, just because it's like, that's how my mother shows me love, not necessarily buy. It doesn't have to be expensive, but just, hey, I thought about you. This is funny. Like, mom, you know, we went to Peru and this llama kissed you. I saw this stuffed llama in, you know, in Walmart and it made me think of that moment. So I'm going to get it for her. So like, it really hurts my feelings when people don't come through on these holidays. And, you know, it would hurt my feelings if I posted it because I'm so excited, you know, like, look at my new earrings. And then someone's like, no, don't do that. It's almost like you feel deflated.
There's a lot of heartbroken people out there too, Mina. There's a lot of people on holidays that like the holidays aren't good for them, even on something as simple as Valentine's Day. Like maybe some people holding on to not getting candy grams in elementary school for $1. Like it's so many people that has been heartbroken that probably just give up on certain things like that.
But
Yeah.
but I think in dating, again, if Mina is saying like I'm an effort person and I'm a holiday person, so if you're dating her and the intention is there, like I want the effort, like just give me a card or draw me a card or something, make me breakfast, whatever it is, just to show that effort. So I do think that it's sometimes it's a conversation, but it's like, do you want to keep having that conversation over and over? Because you could be newly dating someone, and to Garnett's point, maybe they've never been the celebrate holiday type. But once you had a I am a holiday person. I'm into it. Hopefully they want to be into you enough that they're like, all right, let me go get her a card. I ain't really into this holiday. People say they don't believe in it, but still want to show you that they appreciate you on a day. And I'm very big on that. Like, there was, and I'll just be transparent. This Valentine's Day was a little harder for me. And I don't know if it was on a Sunday. I don't know if it was because we had COVID and it was kind of like looking through people's posts. I really felt a lot of envy that I normally don't feel. Like I don't normally care about, people's relationships and things, but this was like the first time I really didn't have a Valentine besides my niece. And I just really felt some type of way, like, all right, I'm gonna just get off of social because if I see another, and then I started going through people that should be texting me Happy Valentine's Day that wasn't, and now you're cut. You're cut. If I didn't even get you're trying to be on the list, you are cut off the list. You didn't even send a text to say Happy Valentine's Day.
I will say I kind of felt, but on purpose, stayed off social media. I didn't even text anybody. Like I literally was just with my mom all day, just because I'm just tired of getting disappointed on holidays. And like, this is a real thing. Like when you said this, Dexter, I'm like, this really hits home for me because my expectations for holidays are always different than the people that I date. And it's always like, oh, well, Valentine's Day is a pagan holiday. It was made for people to buy presents, or Christmas. And like, we say all these negative things. And I'm like, why is it so hard to buy somebody a $20 present? Yeah. A $4 card? And it's not even about presents. Plan a date, like I just bake cookies. I don't get it. I don't understand why people make these things like negative.
It's a pandemic. We're not all Moneybagg Yo, and we struggle a little bit.
Like, do a virtual date. Like, what? Like, there's so many different ways to show somebody that you care on a holiday without it being like commercially driven. I'd be so annoyed, guys.
So I mean,
the right person will come along and do these things. I strongly agree with what you and Shana and Garnett are saying. Like, when the person wants to be with you and they know what's important to you, they're going to do those things. And look, you might like posting things, and the right person might come around and they're like, oh, I don't really like posting things. And they'll explain why before you guys even get to that situation. So you're not caught off guard when you go to take a picture of the flowers and they're like, oh, can you not do that? Because you already know. And I think that's important for people to do too. And one more thing before I wrap, I want you guys to grow up. I saw a lot of posts with grown men saying that they will not get their son a Valentine's Day gift because they don't want him to be comfortable getting a gift from men. You're pathetic. Like, that is a joke to me. And I think that when I was growing up, my parents would get me gifts. Like, they would do that for me. And I think that has gotten me to the point of wanting to do things for other people. I don't know how people grew up, but like, if a young boy not receiving like any type of love from his father is not teaching him how to be a man.
And I want to say this too, right? It'll be a lot easier for guys to celebrate Valentine's Day if they felt appreciated as well. So, this guy taking you out for dinner, this guy buying you flowers. I mean, you could at least get him a pair of jeans.
Can I just say real quick, like with my fiance, like she's so much better than me. I literally got her a gift card to like Target. She bought me a membership to the spa for the year. Am I trash? I'm trash. Like, I'm not even that good.
But listen, next Valentine's Day, what's gonna happen?
She gonna give me something even better. I'm gonna try.
Well, let me just say, when I was in a committed relationship where the man actually knew what my needs were and fulfilled them, and literally, I would go to Spencer. I don't know if y'all know about Spencer, that little freaky deaky store that they be having in the back of the malls. And I used to buy the little freaky deaky like Valentine's Day like games where it tells you to do like freak nasty stuff. My one boyfriend, I gave him like a coupon book of sexual favors. And whenever he wanted a sexual favor, he would give me the coupon book for the whole year, and whatever it was, I had to do it. So, it happens. Like, I would have pulled out the lingerie and pulled the little Beyonce, I just want to dance with you. Whoa. But
do that move again.
Nobody be appreciating the holidays like me.
He's coming. The white one's coming. He's coming.
I hope. On that note, thank y'all for watching and listening to the Mina's House podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, podcast app, everywhere. Okay. I'm Mina SayWhat.
I'm Shana B.
Garnett Briscoe.
Dex Stuckey.
Talk to you guys next week. And sorry for being late and the technical difficulties.